everyone needs to lose weight. We all got to stop going to college for tens of thousands, hundreds. Like, here's this thing called menopause. Get used to it. It's a fact. No, it's not an evil Republican conspiracy. And I would not go so far as to say women can't work or anything like that. But I would knock it off. I would like immediately ban feminism doctrine from K through 12, where it's like, no. These kids, there's no politics. All right. And it's like, here in health class, here's how it works, girls. And I would also just as a government, just be on a neutral side. Like, we're not going to be like, oh yeah, you girls got to go girl boss and fuck men, they're assholes, and you don't need no man. Like, that's got to go. You don't need no man. The government's like, nope, we're not in on this. This is not our domain. But here's some basic facts about biology. And if you want to have kids, you're going to have to do it. But let me ask you guys this. Is it really the government's fault or responsibility that we're at this impasse?
I would say they have a huge part to play. Yes.
I think maybe they greased the skids through the education department with this feminist girl boss horse shit and the Democrats and man hatred and all that.
They gave women the vote, just saying.
Well, okay, that's going back to what, 1924, 1919?
I had to go there.
Look, and this is kind of one of the underlying themes of my work. Remove the government, remove the Democrats, remove feminists. Women at the end of the day are still making their choices. This is a pain in the ass. I think, again, genetically, we're coming to the point that we're so wealthy and so technologically advanced. Women, we can do all this white collar work. Everyone could kind of support themselves if they want. And now it truly is a choice. In other words, yes, everyone's brainwashable to a certain extent, women included, but I don't think women are 100% these NPC robots that just do what their Democrat feminist overlords say. Deep down inside, I think you're witnessing women just don't want to have kids, especially with the vast majority of men that are out there.
I mean, you got to remember that women are herd animals. Like, okay, like all of humanity are social animals. Yes.
Okay,
although
all right.
Women care more about the opinion of others, like because they fear ostracization.
Fine.
Yeah,
that's a fact. What's the decisions? They're still making this decision, and it gets real. Like, Jack, is it your responsibility to populate any nation?
No.
Red Hawk, is it your responsibility to, we got to get the birth rates up in the United States? Is it your responsibility?
Responsibility isn't the right word for it.
Just say no. Just say no. It's not my responsibility. It's not. It's not my responsibility. Trying to pull teeth and wrestle with the entire opposite sex over something that should be as common sense as repopulating and having children and forming families, like it's not worth our time. It's not because it's not feasible. This is truly, look, ladies, if you want to, because they're the bottleneck, right? They have one egg per month and men have a ton of sperm. These are the people who are in charge of the Panama Canal. If the people in the Panama Canal want to shut it off and not let any ships go across into the Gulf or into the Pacific, you know what? It's up to you. So the discussion should be one of, are you going to open up the canal or not? You're not. Okay, we're going to go do something else. But it gets tiring. And this is cute what the government is talking about in terms of incentives. But at the end of the day, it's going to be up to women culturally, no matter what influences, whether it's government politics, Democrats, feminism, or biology, it's going to be up to them. And I think all these efforts are futile, except for like Hungary, where it's like, no, you are going to have families, where it's like, we're incentivizing the family unit. Fine. Okay. You might get some financial, long-term, constructive people to have kids that way. But at the end of it, nothing has worked. And this is, we treat women like they're just these robots and chess pieces that need to be.
No. The thing is, women aren't robots or chess pieces. But the thing is, women fear ostracization more than anything. They do.
Okay.
Like, they fear ostracization more than anything. So what's becoming then is that the public opinion of women is, you can have it all. A woman is successful when she has a career, when she's a girl boss, when she doesn't have kids at an early age, because, well, being 23 and having kids is way too early. Like, Susie hears Karen say that, And she's like, oh, but Karen's my friend. So when Karen thinks that, I have to think that, because if I don't think that, Karen's not going to want to hang out with me. Now that grows to Susie, Becky, Tiffany, whatever
Madison,
you want.
everyone, yeah.
Madison, Shaniqua, Tanisha, Rodanda, Yolanda. That's way easier. And then they have that group thing going on where it's like, we all think like this, right? Yeah, we all think like this. Yes. 23 is way too young to have a kid. Yeah, no. Gotta have my education. And then, because they don't want to be ostracized, they keep going with that. And then companies, whatever, see that public opinion of women, and then they pander to it, where it's like, ladies, we think like you too. We think, because feminism is a strategy in all honesty.
No one corrects them because we all want to fuck them.
Exactly. And then companies want money off of them. Where it's like, if this is the opinion of women so that they're not ostracized, we're going to play to it. And then they're going to pay us because we think like women as well. You want to.
And they get lower labor.
Labor. 70 cents on the dollar.
Yes. And you know what, Jack? Everything you said is 100% true. You know what else? Sounds like a them problem.
Exactly.
That's their problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not saying this because I don't have kids and never wanted kids. I'm just.
It's $2 million, right? For $2 million, a woman can have your child.
For $2 million, a woman can have my child. Yes, you may have my seed. This is not our responsibility. This is not the government's responsibility. Women, get off your fucking asses. Actually, be independent-minded and decide whether or not you want to have children. I don't give you. It pisses me off where girls. I know. Girls are just like, yeah, I used to believe in that shit, and then I met my husband, and he kind of set me straight. Like, why do we have to set you straight?
And we set you straight, she means choke her till she pissed a little.
No. Why? For the love of God, go be independent-minded. Go support yourselves. Go be an adult. Now we got to do your thinking for you, too. At the end, he was just a big LARP. It doesn't matter. I don't care if this is a LARP or not. Fuck you. Go do your thing. It is so exhausting. And now we got the federal government like, oh my God, IVF. Like now it may be politically motivated, but we're at the point where we are, what's the word I'm looking for? Kowtowing, tailoring, pandering.
Pandering
to women so much. We're like, but we'll pay for your IVF. No, we shouldn't be doing look, hey, you know what? Maybe society is so fucked up. Maybe if one sex goes so skewed one way that you're not going to have kids, well, then maybe your society or group of people shouldn't exist.
Well,
how
this
about
comes
that?
back.
What if you don't evolve to the point like we gotta pull teeth to get the opposite sex to procreate? Fuck this shit. Maybe the species doesn't deserve. Maybe we should go extinct.
Sometimes, yeah. But we're kind of getting full circle here because, like we mentioned, like government now wants to pay for that IVF, and it gets paid by taxpayer money. And who pays the most taxes? Men. And then we get back to Hawk's point in the beginning in the tax office. How do you fight this? You work as little as possible.
Yes.
You pay the least amount of taxes for this fucking bullshit. You bleed them out. You dry them out.
And men are doing that.
Yeah, men are doing it. Where it's like, I ain't going to go. I ain't working 40 hours a week anymore.
They're just going to print the money, though, is the thing. It's like you're not going to be able to defeat. You're not going to be able to defeat this, like, you know, Leviathan of a state.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree, Hawk.
I don't think it's going to work.
They're going to print off the money. Okay, and?
Is there more stuff? I understand, but I agree with that. But my point being is like, okay, this discussion is kind of like roping around the idea of like responsibility, right? Like, no, I actually think it is the responsibility of the state to actually ensure that its country survives and like the people going afterwards. Like if you're going to think from like a pure like perspective, what government exists to do. I mean, it exists.
It was, yeah.
No, it still is. It still is. Like, and somebody has to be in charge. You know, we're talking about like this idea of like having like a neutral state or something, and we're not going to grease the wheels of like feminism in one direction. I mean, somebody has to be in charge, and somebody has to be pushing an agenda and an ideology in some direction. There's no idea of like the neutral state. That's never existed and never will exist. Somebody is in charge. Somebody pushes an agenda, and I would prefer that people who are closer to the opinions that the three gentlemen on this panel have than somebody else. You know, I want my friends in charge. I want people who look at the world my way to be in charge and push policies in a certain direction to give things that I want and things that I think would be good for the system. well, like this idea that you can kind of just like check out and that's going to destroy everything. It's like they're eventually going to come for you, man. Like it really
Yeah,
is
you might not be interested in
it
war,
really
but
is that
war,
meme.
yeah.
It really is that meme. We're living in a society. It's like, yeah, how does this affect you personally? As like Rome is burning down behind you. It's like, well, I mean, I live here, so it does affect me personally.
I mean, it's I don't know who the quote is from. I think it's Megadeth. I'm not sure, but it's like you might not be interested in war, but war sure as hell is interested in you. It's like, I mean, I fully agree with the
Good thing we're ready for war.
Hey. I mean, you may hate on my intro. You know what? I gave it to you today, but next time I'm gonna double it. I'm gonna double that intro. I have super chats, sir. I can play clips. I still have that one of doing the chicks.
Dude, do you know how many people made videos of that? Oh my god.
Oh, plenty. But I do fully. I can't blame guys for not wanting to work 40 hours a week anymore. I was talking to my guitar teacher about that. He's like, yeah, no, I'm
going to for yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Don't do it for anybody else. If you want to work that much, work that much.
Yeah, where it's like I will work as much as I need to, not as much as like people say I should do for the benefit of taxes, where it's like, oh no, I will work the least amount. No, the most amount I can work with the least amount of taxes. Like, I fully agree with that. And in the Netherlands, that's 24 to 32 hours. It's kind of like a towing cost, like depending on where you work.
And then you wonder why housing is expensive.
Hey, I mean, for the Netherlands, that's a whole can of worm we're not going to open today because you don't.
No, I know, but it's hilarious. What you guys are describing is women are like, well, we don't want kids. We're cutting off sex because we found something better. We're making our choices. However, they arrived at those choices, and people are like, fine. And men are like, okay, well, we're cutting off civilization.
Yeah. And no, pretty much. Where it's like, okay,
it is. No, hey,
goodbye.
You like electricity? Suck a dick. I mean, it really is that simple. Do you like food? You
eat a dick.
Cops? Suck a dick. You know.
This is why it will inevitably come back to the point where, like the men need to be in charge of things, because back to our Robert Heinlein, violence is the supreme authority of which all other authority derives, and there just happens to be one sex in our species who's better at it, and that's the sex that should be in charge. Because that's what
always says that.
Period.
I want to defend women though.
This is going to be good.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, okay, violence makes right. Men could come in, but from a more economic perspective, in defense of women could, men, it's like, we're done being the plumbers and the civil engineers and the oil rig workers. So women could actually go become the engineers, the doctors, the surgeons, the oil rig workers, the tradesmen, build their own. No, they could do it. No, I'm kidding. That's they pick up a hammer and build a.
There's no way. There's no way.
We have clawed for that.
Which is fine too, because like here's the other thing too, is like this is like when you get to the point where you just have to like reject egalitarianism in all things. It's like, yeah, I don't have like standards that high for women that need to go be building houses. Like that's like a ridiculous standard that I'm not going to hold them to. I'm not going to expect like women to start like working in the trades like en masse or something like that. It's like, it's not what they're built for. It's not what they should be doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. So now that we're all adults here and we all have gone back to the very simple rules of reality that basically everyone in the history of everything for the last 8,000 years before we did, and all these idiots started taking control of things the last 100 years. All right, now that we're back to normal, now we can actually start addressing the real root of the problem.
Here's what's going to happen. We won't have to address this problem. You know what's going to address this problem for us? Reality. Mother Nature is going to come in and address this for us. And this is cute, entertaining fanfare for us to watch, where the Trump White House is what we're going to think of these policies. The media is speculating on, egg freezing. But this is very entertaining for us who know better. But in the meantime, for especially your audience, Jack and Hawk, I want to worry about it. Like, this is, in other words, I think the error on our part is, oh my God, look at this. Not that we wouldn't have anything to discuss. I know, I appreciate that we're discussing this, but I think what we should take away from this is we should not get this, not a single microcalorie of energy concerned about it. It should be like, look at this tiger in the zoo. Isn't this an interesting tiger behind a glass pane door? It should be observant, like we're watching a National Geographic special. And that should really be the thing, because it's watching the world's largest, most powerful government fail to get its women to fuck. It's fascinating.
We're almost like pandas. We're almost pandas.
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
there.
and it's like, well, are you emotionally invested whether the pandas breed or not? It's not your control. You got government, and let's imagine it's a zoo. It's a big zoo, a big glass thing, and here you got government policy, politicians, and whatnot, and then you got women all in their little cabal with whatever they're doing, girl bossing over there.